Hi there, this is Caitlin Dodard, and welcome to my show. In this episode, I will be interviewing the founder of Digital Media Club TV, Mr. Patrick Abeck. Welcome to my show, Mr. Patrick Abeck.
Thank you. It is an honor to be on your show. I just feel fantastic about this.
What is the history of Digital Media Club TV?
Well, we started in November of 2016, so we're going to be starting our 8th year. Doesn't seem possible, next month. And we started off with a program called Basics of TV News Reporting, where our students would go out and we would teach them how to do a stand-up TV news report. So they'd go out maybe on a Saturday morning to a charity event, like a 5K run for charity or maybe a golf outing, and they would go interview 4 or 5 people who's participating, the cause of the charity, where the money's going, and all this kind of thing. And they would learn how to edit it up, and it would just look exactly like they were on the 6 o'clock news. They had a microphone, a camera, and perfect. Well, then COVID hit. And when COVID hit, there was no events to cover, and parents didn't want their children outside talking to people. So we looked at how CNN and Fox News were kind of handling COVID, and they were bringing their reporters and their hosts of their shows just back to their homes, and had the proper lighting, had a green screen, did a virtual background, had the proper graphics, and looked just like they were in a news studio. So we adopted that format to our students, and now we have a program called Introduction to Digital Journalism and Media, where our students host their own news programs right from home. So it's just like CNN when they were going through COVID.
How would you describe this program?
Well, this is what's called kind of a category of education as an at-home extracurricular club activity, which once again during COVID, these type of programs really exploded when all of a sudden students could maybe do music lessons, coaching, and an assortment of things, even tutoring, academic lessons, all from home, right from their computer. And they're very popular with parents because parents don't have to drive their kids anywhere. So it's nice to have something like this where a student can do this right from home. So we're a at-home extracurricular club activity.
What is this course curriculum based on?
It's called Introduction to Digital Journalism and Media. And one of the things about 3 years ago, in journalism in the old days, you either went to journalism school in college to maybe get a broadcast journalism degree that kind of focused on TV, or maybe print journalism, magazine, newspapers. And so now the major that you can focus on in college and get your degree in is called Digital Journalism and Media, one of several, but that's kind of the main one, and it covers broad topics. And what we wanted to be able to do is have Introduction to Digital Journalism and Media, where a student could, when they start applying for scholarships, when they start applying for colleges, they could say they have diplomas and certificates of achievement in digital journalism and media, which really shows that a student is on the kind of the cutting edge of education. It really makes the student look good.
Tell about the 2 building blocks of this program.
Well, the 2 building blocks of this program are really the 2 building blocks of journalism, and that is reading a news report, producing and delivering a news report, which you did the other day, and that was a national news report on a national charity. Today, the other building block you're doing is you're doing an interview. And an interview, like I said, is just as if your teacher would tell you, go do a report on something. You know what? There's a new exhibit at the museum. I want you to do a report on it. Well, what you would do is you would contact the museum. If we're doing a report on that for your show, you invite the guest from the museum on, and then you ask them questions, and that's a report. So a lot of terms in journalism are kind of associated with academics. So that's kind of our 2 building blocks. One is the news report that you did, and then this is an interview. Those are, and you'll keep doing those over and over and over again. And what keeps it new, interesting, and fresh is not just learning how to do a news report, because there's educational value there, but it's also every time you interview somebody, whatever you're learning about is a whole new learning experience. That's why people can be journalists for 50 years and say they're always learning something new, because they're always doing new reports and interviewing new people.
What do parents of students say about Digital Media Club TV?
Well, a common theme is communication skills and confidence, self-confidence. When students are constantly interviewing adults, they're having adult conversations, they're learning how to use their speech very efficiently. We want students to not, talk too much. You want to be able to, especially in the terms of social media, is you want to be fast. You want to keep people's attention. So you want to be very efficient. You want to be bold. You want to be assertive. So kind of a common theme that parents say is how advanced a child gets in their conversational skills, how to talk to adults. And that really, when a student masters those skills, that they get ahead in anything that they do better at.
Do students attend classes?
Yes, they do. We have a variety of class times throughout the week, which vary from a half hour to 45 minutes. But a student will attend in this program one per week, and then students can do extra credit assignments. If they want to earn extra class credits for certificates of achievement in their diploma, they can do extra, and we help out. So say, for example, if you attended class on Monday and got your assignment completed, but then on Friday you had a guest that you invited to your show, we'd help you with that as well. So there's one episode per week that you do in class, but then you can do extra credit assignments as well.
Can students receive diplomas?
Yes, they can receive diplomas as kind of their big reward. So when a student gets 50 class credits, and you're getting one today for doing this assignment, when they get 50 of those, they get their first degree or diploma. And that's after 50 assignments. But then we also have certificates of achievement that students can kind of get along the way. At 10, 25, 50, 75, they can get their certificates of achievement. And they also can get certification certificates. So if you did 25 specific interviews, you would receive your certificate of achievement in interviewing. You can also get a certificate of achievement in doing news reports. So we have a lot of different certificates of achievement and diplomas depending on what aspect you're focused on.
What makes a Facebook page? What makes a Facebook business page so valuable?
Well, when you're kind of looking at social media, there's the user side of, oh, geez, I like TikTok or I like Twitter, but then there's also the business side. So for our purposes, we want to make sure that we're looking at the business side. What is the most valuable for our students? And Facebook has the as far as the business page, or it's actually classified as a website, that we want to have that. So we're focused on that. And Facebook has the most advanced page that behaves most like a website, meaning that there's no hosting fees. We can have a student can do 25 or 50 episodes and it'll be there forever with no hosting fees. Each individual episode or video can be searchable, so we can search it by content or topic. That's something unique. And it's something that also our audience, as far as the user side, are a lot of parents and grandparents. So that's also good as far as viewership goes. But one of the things that makes it so valuable for Facebook, it's most like a website, and it's free.
How can a student create a valuable lifetime reference with Dmc TV?
Well, it's that website that's the key. It's getting these. I have some students that have over 400 episodes, and they've done that over 5 or 6 years in some cases. But it's something that when you have what's called a body of work, that you've built something, and it's not all scattered. I have students that say, boy, I played soccer for 8 years, or I did something. And it's kind of like, it's a memory. It's not lost, but it's just gone. This is something that every single thing you do, every episode that's 5, 10, or 15 minutes is something that you're creating a valuable asset for your future that you can use as a reference long into the future. So that's why we say that.
How does the term digital real estate apply to this program?
Well, one of the things that it seems like in the investment world, they get these little terms that are fashionable or that kind of are trendy to use. And one of them is to have a website or have something digital that's an asset, that's like a piece of real estate, they call it, that kind of is valuable. It appreciates over time and might even make money for you. And so that's how our student programs can really be something that over time, more and more value is created for a student when they go to have scholarships, when they go use this as a reference for jobs. And even our students can become team leaders, which we're going to talk about that in a little bit, and can kind of treat this as a part-time job because they get paid for being a team leader. And so there's ways that this can be a valuable asset for students long into the future. So that's kind of how we use that term that applies to this program.
What is the DMC TV team leader program?
Well, a team leader is after you get a certificate of specifically for being a team leader. What you can do is you can lead a team of people on a panel interview. So a panel interview, and if you're a fan of the news and CNN, is maybe 4 or 5 journalists interviewing one guest. That's called a panel interview. Our panel interviews can be 5 or 10 students interviewing one guest in kind of different rounds. And so a student, if they're the team leader, can get paid $5 for everybody in attendance, all the students in attendance for that meeting. So if there's 5 students interviewing a guest, they would get $25 for being the team leader. If there's 10, they would get $50. So that's after they get good at it and get certified, get their certificate in that being a team leader. But it's something that the team leader program's out there for students that really are passionate about this program.
What is the cost of a student membership?
Well, the student memberships are $99 a month, and they're month to month. And a parent can put this on hold, cancel it. We've got students that'll do this for 3 months and then put it on hold. All their certificates of achievement, everything is on hold. Their site is still up and running. And then they do the other activity, maybe it's softball or track, and then jump back in 3 months later. So this is something that's always there. But a student has the tuition of $99, and that covers 4 Zoom classes per month, as well as a student can get extra help with extra credit. So like I said, if a student attends one class on Monday, but then they have another interview they booked on Friday, we'll help them form questions in that. So a student gets 4 classes for that $99 a month, but also unlimited help with other assignments that they pursue on their own.
Explain the Dmc Tv Presidents Club.
Well, the Presidents Club is kind of a unique little inner circle for students that are a president of a club. So we have, when a new student is in an area, they set up their show, which is all of their episodes. But then within their community where they live, we set up the name of their city as the club. So like in my area, I live in Toledo, it would be called the Toledo Digital Media Club. Wherever you're at, it would be called your city Digital Media Club. And the student, there's only one president per club, but the student that's the president gets to have, if any other students join the club, they would get 3 months of tuition waived for them. So they get some financial rewards out of that. And there's really not extra work that they have to do. We just want them to be committed to this program and then, have a longer term commitment to it. So in the President's Club, a student has to commit to it for a year versus a student membership is just month to month.
What are the 4 steps to getting involved?
Well, one of the things that we really, really want is parents and students to think about this, to have time to get to know us, to build a relationship, to see if it's the right thing for the student to do. If a student's not excited about this, to me, journalism is just the most amazing thing. It's the best learning tool that I think, especially for young students, to be involved in, because they can interview people, they can learn about so much. And being a journalist, you'll be able to say for the rest of your life that you were a journalist. And it's the most exciting thing, because you could meet somebody and they say they're a journalist and you're a journalist. And even if it was 20 years ago, you can share stories on who you interviewed and exciting things you did. So it's a lot of fun. But step 1 is we do a student does reads a national news report like you did. Step 2 is this interview. So you get those 2 building blocks in. Step 3 is we have a student cover a local event in their area. So what we would do is ask you what specific city that you live in. We find an event in your area that's maybe a month away. Right now, there's a lot of fall festivals and community stuff like that. We would create the script, the background, and have you cover that and see what kind of response we get in your area. After that is step 4 then, where we meet with parents. And what we like to do is meet with parents to learn more about the child's strengths, what the child needs to work on, and then whether or not we want to move forward with this program.
Thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you. You're very good at this. You should do this. Thank you very much.
This is Caitlin Dodard reporting for Digital Media Club TV.